This was, in a sense, a grab bag a bit in the way a State of the Union is. It wasn't a single vision for what the president plans to tackle next. It wasn't a single driving message from the president.
Let's just go to Dana Bash. Dana, you're right where the president is.
That's right. He just walked by me. You can see him walking through the Capitol Rotunda, marveling at the magnificent architecture. He's walking with the vice president. Just walked by myself and other reporters here, said hello, how are you? We said, how you feel? You feel great? He said yes. And he is heading with members of the leadership, House and Democratic leadership, House and Republican leadership, rather, Democrats and Republicans, over to the Senate side. And he's going to have some formal ceremonies now. The formality is some signing of official papers. Some of them are important because they actually give him a paycheck, put him on the payroll, as well as members of the cabinet. After that, he's going to be back in here and he's going to go to the lunch. And that happens. It's been happening for 60 years right around here in the Statuary Hall, which is right back there. And you can see actually people streaming in, senators, Senator Kerry, if you can see him behind me, the senator from Massachusetts, soon to be, we assume, the next Secretary of State and other members of the Senate. This is the coat check behind me. So we have a pretty good view of the really exclusive VIP guest list that is coming for this lunch, which should start in just a little while as soon as the president is done with his signing ceremony.
Jessica, you were saying?
You had asked earlier if the president has changed in office, and what we did not hear was this gauzy message of hope and change, or red and blue America. What you heard here was a leader who plans to get some things done in the time he has left. And he is programmatic about laying out what he needs to do, explaining it to the people both in America right now, the people he plans to rally to get his agenda supported at the grassroots level, and create a context to get it done in Washington in this speech by using the words of the Founding Fathers and that support to try to push it. The other piece of it we haven't talked about is the education reform and the drawdown overseas, which are two other big pieces of its agenda.
Alex Castellanos?
Well, there was a big idea, I think, in the speech today, and that was equality. That's what this speech was about.
Let's check in with Wolf. Wolf?
The president is about to sign some proclamations over here, and he's also going to officially nominate 4 new members of his cabinet. Let's see if we can listen in.
All set? All right. I'm proclaiming peace on earth and goodwill towards men. Right? All right. Amen. Sign it twice. There we go. And then I'm setting a few nominations up, which I know will be dealt with great dispatch. Mr. Jack Lew for Treasury. Mr. Charles Timothy Hagel for Defense. Mr. John Kerry, Secretary of State. And Mr. John Brennan of Virginia for the Central Intelligence Agency. There you go. Great. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Look forward to it.
Are we supposed to take them? Yes. Jeannie. We'll take them. No. Harry.
So the president, once again, formally nominating members of his cabinet, including Chuck Hagel to be Secretary of Defense, John Kerry to be Secretary of State, John Brennan. Let's listen in. Let's hear what else he's saying.
Yeah, I'm going to give you, this is a nice one. And that's yours.
All right. Now that one actually was something, Harry.
All right, so they have a few laughs, a little official business, the nomination of cabinet members, signing a proclamation. Dana Bash, what's going to happen next?
What's going to happen next, Wolf, is the president is going to come back from the Senate side of the Capitol, where he is now, through the center into Statuary Hall. And that is where there is going to be what is now the traditional post-inaugural lunch. As I mentioned before, it is extremely exclusive. There were 1,600 people on the platform. This is only 220. 220 guests make this list. And it is something that really tends to bring together in a very intimate way himself, members of the leadership, House and Senate, Democrat, Republican, members of the Supreme Court. And it's so exclusive that the president himself only gets a little more than a dozen seats that he can fill with his own personal guests. So we're actually waiting and hoping to see the president once again once he moves through where we are, the Capitol Rotunda, to the lunch.